Hey solo friends, welcome to another traveling solo log. This is Solo, and today I just want to share with you my experience and my story about the whole coronavirus experience, which is interesting is because I was actually in China when it first started. Before I start, I just want to tell you guys I hope everyone is safe, all your friends and families are safe, especially China, Italy, and countries that are most affected. I hope you guys are dealing with the situation well, and my condolences are to you guys. And everyone else who are not in those countries still, I hope you guys are staying safe. Just make sure you wash your hands, wear masks, stay indoors at this time if you can. And that being said, let me start the story. So basically I was in China when it first started, and it started back in December 2019. That's when the coronavirus started. So I was there in China, and I saw in the news a few cases of a mysterious virus that was happening. So I thought nothing of it, just as you guys probably thought nothing of it. And then let's fast forward to mid-January, January 22nd. So during December to January, I just heard a few cases, nothing too big. So going back to mid-January, it was, I want to say January 22nd. I woke up that day, I checked my phone, and I saw this application WeChat, which is like the most popular app in China. It's like Facebook, but on steroids. So I saw this app called WeChat. You post pictures, videos, just chat with your friends. And I saw everyone on my moment feed, like on my news feed, just was posting pictures of them wearing masks. And I was like, why is everyone posting pictures of them wearing masks? It was just like an overnight thing, which I thought was like, what, is there some social trend happening? Because everyone's like smiling, like taking pictures like this, wearing masks. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like nearly everyone on my WeChat was doing it. I was like, this is interesting and weird at the same time. So I was like, I guess I missed like some social trends or something. So anyways, I got ready, went to go out to film a video, and I wanted to film the city I was in was Guangzhou, so I wanted to film the Guangzhou Railway because it was around Chinese New Year time at that time. So around Chinese New Year, a lot of people migrate back to their hometowns, because if you don't know, in China, a lot of people, they move to big cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. They find work opportunities there, they work there, and then throughout the whole year, maybe they only visit their hometown once or twice to go back to their village. So Chinese New Year is a big festival. I want to say it's bigger than Christmas and New Year's combined. So anyways, I wanted to film that and show you guys the biggest, and it's also the biggest migration in the world too. So I wanted to film that day. And then I went over there. It was like, I want to say 50% of the people outside were wearing masks. This is just the day before. Not so many people, sorry it's a little bit windy, but not so many people were wearing masks. So now I'm like in this Guangzhou Railway area, and I'm seeing 50% of the people wearing masks. I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And so basically the coronavirus in China went from like 0 to 100. At that time they still didn't lock down Wuhan. So I was okay. So I was just walking around, and I saw a lot of people there, you know, filming the biggest migration. You guys can see the link to the video. So that being said, it's kind of interesting that like none of the cities were locked down at that time, like I said. So many people around China were actually traveling, and this is like the perfect storm, because it's the biggest migration in the world, and there's a epidemic that's happening, or a pandemic that's happening, and a lot of people are just moving around the whole country. So that happened, and then I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I talked to one of my friends, one of my Chinese friends, and they're telling me, yeah, there's like a nationwide safety alert, health alert, that basically they just said people, you know, wear masks, stay clean. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I never dealt with SARS in China or anything of the coronavirus. So I was like, this is pretty interesting. So, well, it's bad too, obviously. So then after I went back home, I edited my video. I saw there's more news. Then I was checking the news. They're saying there's more cases developing in China. I was like, okay, this is it's starting to get bad. So then after that, the next day, it was a Thursday, I found out they started locking down Wuhan. So I was like, whoa, they're locking down a whole city in China. And keep in mind, they said the population of Wuhan is around the population of London or New York. So that's a big city. We're talking about like a 10 million plus city of people. So that's not a small city. So I was like, whoa, this is kind of strange. Just a few days ago, I thought coronavirus was nothing, and then all of a sudden, I'm sure even you guys in your country, you guys probably thought coronavirus was nothing, or it was only in China or something, and then all of a sudden it just shot up from like 0 to thousands of people, thousands of cases. I know that happened in America. So yeah, I was like, whoa, this is getting a little bit serious. So then Friday comes around and I found out they like locked down Wuhan pretty much. They started locking down the province. And then I just was walking, I saw a church and also saw a mosque. They were both locked up. And I was like looking outside the door like, why would they lock up a religious place? And I found out they're doing that just for health risks. They don't want all these people gathering. And I was like, wow, this is amazing that last week everything was normal in China, and now everything seems a little bit chaotic. So that day, also Friday, I wanted to record a flower market video because it's a special market that only happens around Chinese New Year, so I wanted to record it. And a lot of people were there actually. It was like a big popular thing. You guys can see my video of that too. And so I recorded that. Oh, it's getting a little bit windy here. So I recorded that. More people I saw were wearing masks at the time. So just in a 2-day span, you could see more people are wearing the masks. And also in the middle of the market had a big screen that are just telling people be clean, take cleanliness serious, wash your hands, wear your mask, try to be away from people. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. I never seen in China they put on like big screens outside. They have like, I don't know if you guys see in New York, like Times Square or just any big cities, there's like these big screens outside that just advertise or just show people the news. So basically on like a lot of big screens, they never did this ever, they were just showing people like be clean, don't touch foreign animals like bats and other animals. So I was like, whoa, this is getting a little bit serious. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So that day I went back to my house. Looking outside, the city is dead. Well, it's usually big cities around Chinese New Year's is dead because I told you everyone migrates back to their hometowns. But I was looking outside, I was like, this looks abnormally dead. Like, it's dead around Chinese New Year's, but this is a little bit too much. So then I wake up the next day and I just, honestly, I started tripping out. I was like thinking to myself, like, what do I do? Do I stay in China? Do I leave? Because I found out they're locking down Wuhan and they started locking down the province, which is Hubei. So I was like, what do I do? I'm just a single guy and I heard they're locking down a part of the country. I was like, if they're locking down this part of the country, what makes them stop to not lock down the whole country, or even lock down like big cities or certain cities in China? So I was tripping out. I was talking to my friends. I was talking to my family, like, what should I do? Some said they're gonna stay. Most of them said they're gonna stay at that time. A few said they're gonna leave. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Because keep in mind, I collected stuff for like 2 years in my apartment. No, sorry, I lived there more than 2 years, but in China. But just in that apartment, I lived there around 2 years. So I was like, what should I do? I collected stuff here. I have a bunch of things, TV, all these stuff to cook with, normal stuff that you would have in your house or your apartment. So I was like, well, what should I do? I have all this stuff with me. So I was like, let me wait a day. So I waited a day or two. It was very quiet. I took the metro. Then they started checking temperatures on the metro. On every metro, they started checking like before you go on the metro, they started checking temperatures. The metro was like pretty much dead. Everyone was wearing masks. I was like, this is going way out of hand. Like something serious is happening. And I was afraid if I don't leave, the city would be, locked, and I would cannot move outside of the city. Now it would suck if some pandemic's happening, you can't, move. And you're in a foreign country. Keep in mind, I know right now many people cannot move, but you're in a foreign country. Keep in mind, this is not your country, and you're just hearing this is happening all across China. And at this time, around the world, everywhere was safe except China at that time. So I was like, okay, what should I do? So I talked to one of my friends. I was like, hey man, we gotta leave. Let's bounce. Let's get out of here. And I'm gonna leave a part 2 and just continue from there.